Good morning, Facebook friends. I'm going to be doing another little talk for you, another little health talk. This time on digestion, because what I'm finding over the last 35 years in clinical practice, found most of us have faulty digestions. And you can tell that by when you look at a baby and they eat, what do after they eat? They poo. So if you're not eating, if you're not pooing after you eat, either 3 times a day, or some people eat 6 times a day, then what the body does is it separates the nutrients from the wastes. And if the wastes don't come out after every meal, that's building up in your system, which leads to serious complications down the track. So some people go once a week, some people go twice a week, some people go every second day, some people go once a day, and they think that's great. It's better to go twice a day, but it's even better if you go 3 times a day. If you eat 3 times a day, it's better to go 3 times a day. If you don't, then there's an issue with digestion, because we don't want the wastes to be building up, okay? So this is how it works. So the food is taken into the body, chewed well, I hope. Sometimes we eat very quickly, and that doesn't help the enzymes or the digestive juices. The digestive juices and enzymes are stimulated by the taste buds. So if you've been told to go on a raw food diet or a juice fast, and they tell you, and they mean well, you know, they're trying to help you, their friend. And I used to say that 30, 40 years ago. Oh, yes. So if they say the raw food and the juices are packed full of enzymes, then you better think again, because this is how the body works. When you're chewing, right, you're chewing away, the enzymes are stimulated by the taste buds and the saliva, and stimulated by the chewing, and the saliva carries amylase, which digests carbohydrates, and then you got lipase from the pancreas, you got hydrochloric acid, which breaks down proteins, lipase breaks down fats. So the enzymes, and you've got enzymes in your villi, and you've got digestive enzymes being stimulated by your chewing and your taste buds. So they're not necessarily in the food you eat. Otherwise, could you imagine if there was digestive enzymes in all the food we ate? We wouldn't have much food left, because they'd be digested down. So this is the meaning of enzymes, is they're breaking down. And there's thousands of not digestive enzymes, but enzyme activities in our body that's breaking down things, changing things into what the body needs to utilize. So they're not necessarily always in the food, okay? So, and the food is broken down by enzymes, hydrochloric acid. They're absorbed by the small intestine, taken into the blood. Nutrients are transported to the cells. The saliva and mucus lining protects the esophagus and the stomach from being damaged, and protects the tooth surface. So when food is swallowed, it goes to the stomach. The sphincter closes so that food cannot return up the esophagus. If this sphincter is not working, That's called reflux. A lot of people have reflux, and that could be as simple as a magnesium problem. Most of us are deficient in zinc and magnesium, but I don't like to single out just two minerals, because there are over 90 minerals we need. But the sphincter is like a muscle, and magnesium helps muscles. So this is why it's not good to eat in between meals, because if the meal's finished and then the sphincter's closed, if you're bringing food down every 2 or 3 hours before everything's digested, how's that going to affect not just the digestion but the sphincter? This is why people get problems with that little gate, reflux, called the sphincter. If you've got any questions, please message me or whatever. You know, if you've got any sorts of health issues, I'm happy to. I don't practice clinical work anymore, but I'm happy to give some free advice if you're willing to listen and learn. So the food, continuing our story of how this all works, the food, or the chyme, it's called CHYME, travels to the small intestine where there are more enzymes in the villi. Now the villi are, have I got a picture of this here? I think I've lost it. These are the villi in our small intestine that helps, hope you can see that, helps with the absorption of our food. Okay, and this is the a little picture of the digestive system. You got the stomach, the liver, the small intestines, the colon. Okay, the food has to travel through all that, so there's a fair bit involved there. So there's more enzymes in the small intestine, in the villi. And remember, if your digestion is faulty, 75% of your immune system is down in around the colon, the small intestine, around the gut area, the digestive system. So we need to keep our immune system strong. So what better way to do is keep your digestion strong, and we'll show you ways to do that. So the pancreas secretes enzymes like lipase. Bile is produced by the liver, but it's stored in the gallbladder for fat and cholesterol digestion. Now, how many people have had their gallbladder out? When you take your gallbladder out, or doctors take your gallbladder out, you're going to have a much harder time digesting cholesterol and fats. Fats are very important for the system, for the mental, emotional system, for the nervous system, and for the cell membrane. But without a gallbladder, if you eat a lot of animal products, you're going to have a hard time getting rid of that cholesterol. So before you get your gallbladder taken out, try and find someone that can help you fix it rather than just get it taken out. Or better still, prevent it getting so sick that it has to come out. So the bile is very important. Fat is emulsified more than digested, okay? So fat's not really digested, but it's emulsified, and it's separated into small little droplets so that the lipase can break that down. And that's what we need, to be broken down so the body can use it for cell membrane and nervous system. The myelin sheath of the nervous system is made from mainly fats. So there's no enzymes in the colon, but you want certain good bacteria. You want a balance of good and bad bacteria, and the good bacteria produces some nutrients, including B12 and vitamin K. So very important to get a probiotic that works. How do we know whether a probiotic works? Sometimes we don't, but other times you can tell by if your bowel's moving after a meal, or just general good bowel movements. What I mean by good is 2 or 3 a day. Young Living has a good probiotic, tried and tested. Best one I've used for 30 years in the clinic, called Life 9. If you want to get hold of some of these awesome products, please message me. We can get them for you wholesale. So we need a good probiotic to balance the good and bad bacteria, and they're not all equal. All probiotics are not equal. Now, this is another important point. All my points are important, but you know what I mean. Fibre helps keep the stools soft, and that they can help detox. Now, when someone tells you to get on a juice fast and you're throwing all the fibre away, what are you doing? You're actually decreasing your detox ability. So I'd rather people have smoothies with all the fibre in there. So we need fibre, because the fibre actually attaches to the chemical and pulls it out of the body. So we need fibre. So juice fasts, I'm going to be talking about detoxing next week on my next video, so stay tuned. I'll tell you how it works. So then the wastes are expelled, nutrients are transported to every cell, are then taken to the liver to filter out toxins and chemicals. This is why it's important to keep the liver healthy as well. Excuse me. It's part of the digestive system. And then the heart pumps the nutrients. The heart's a pump, and it pumps the blood and the nutrients to all cells. Liver stores some nutrients like iron, B12, etc. And when the liver's not working correctly, you're not going to have any B12 stores, or you may have no iron stores, or too much iron stores. So the liver's not dealing with the iron, hemochromatosis. So the whole digestive system needs to be kept in good order. Otherwise, down the track, we're going to have some problems. Then metabolism happens, nutrients are utilised by the body. Metabolism basically means, like the soil, and I'm going to be doing a talk on the soil as well, so many topics. When we have microbes in the soil, the nutrients can be changed into substances that the plant can use. Same with metabolism. The nutrients that we eat are not digested as they are or absorbed. They're changed into molecules that the body can use. Hope that makes sense. Example, sugars and carbohydrates are changed into glucose. Fats are changed into glycerol for fat and fatty acids. Proteins are changed to amino acids used by the DNA. Amino acids are vital for DNA repair and function. So what hinders digestion? Excuse me. Hurried eating. I've been guilty of that many times. So when you eat, if you're eating in a hurry, you see all these people in the cities. They go out for lunch and they grab a bite and they're walking, rushing back to their workplace while they're eating. I mean, far out. That just won't get digested too well. So when you're eating, try and sit down, relax, be grateful. Thank you, Lord, for this food. You know, so eating when tired and stressed is another one that hinders digestion. Wrong eating habits like junk food, snacking. Some people are snacking all day. Some people have morning and afternoon tea. I mean, I'm not here to condemn, but I'm just here to show you how the body works. The body needs rest in between meals. We have a good breakfast, nothing for 5 hours except water. So that gives the body, the digestion, a chance to digest the food and get ready for the next meal. Then we have a good lunch, and at night, very little, if we have dinner at all. So you need 2 or 3 meals max a day. The body doesn't need too much food. Otherwise, it will get sick. It will break down because it won't be able to handle all the food you're putting in. So snacking, drinking with meals interferes with digestion, drugs, chemicals, the chemicals we use. If you never listened to my first video, it's on my timeline, it's about chemicals. We use so many chemicals in our home, in the atmosphere, on our skin, in our food. You know, we need to get rid of those chemicals. We're still going to get chemicals from the atmosphere because we're on a polluted planet. But we can do the best we can, get the chemicals out of your house. Watch my first video, and we got chemical-free cleaning products, chemical-free skin care, chemical-free medicines, chemical-free makeup, although I don't wear makeup, but my wife does. Well, she doesn't actually. She just wears a little bit. Okay, it's got to be chemical-free. Otherwise, something will happen down the track, and it won't be good. Because chemicals are one of the main causes of disease. Eating too late or close to bedtime, not a great idea. Not leaving enough time between meals, at least 5 hours. At least 5 hours we need. Leaky gut syndrome. There's a lot of leaky gut syndrome. More about that in a minute. Now, the most common food allergens is wheat products. There's a lot of wheat products in processed food. There's a lot of wheat, gluten. Some of the meat-free products, they say, oh, go vegetarian, but we'll give you gluten. People are having a lot of problems with gluten and wheat products because the wheat is not the way God made it in the beginning. They've modified the actual grain, and it's not compatible with the human body. Dairy is a common food allergen, chocolate, food additives. Some people react to caffeine. Colours, preservatives, peanuts, sugar, soy, corn, yeast. We have yeast-free sourdough bread. So a lot of these things are in processed foods. So read labels. It will help. Learn how to read labels. Digestive problems. When food is not digested, carbohydrates ferment and proteins putrefy. A lot of people say to me, Tony, I don't drink. Well, chances are you do. Because fermented carbohydrates or sugars manufacture alcohol. Okay, so even if you don't drink alcohol per se, if you're having a lot of sugar or even simple sugars and they're fermented, they're not digesting right, chances are you have alcohol in your system. And proteins putrefy, thus producing acid wastes, decreasing enzyme activity. We don't want to decrease enzyme activity because that's what keeps the body going. In the villi, but all over the body, damaging gut wall, which leads to gut permeability or leaky gut. I see a lot of leaky gut. Now, here's another big one. Infants under the age of 10 to 12 months have intestinal wall. They cannot differentiate between food. Okay, they are fed soy and other formulas that could be toxic for them. They cannot assimilate it. They should be breastfed as long as possible. I know it's not always possible, but at least up to 12 months if possible. Now, the causes of leaky gut are many. It's very common, leaky gut. Bacteria, fungus, candida, chemicals, chemotherapy, parasites from meats, dairy, even tank water. There's a lot of parasites. Dysbiosis. Matter of fact, I did a talk on water last time, so have a look at that video as well. Dysbiosis, which means balance of out of balance, imbalance of good and bad bacteria. The pH is out of balance, acid alkaline levels, alcohol, chronic constipation, medication, drugs, poor diet, refined foods, lack of enzymes, Crohn's, celiac, inflammation, system is overloaded, overeating. Same food used frequently is not a great idea either. Early introduction of solid food for babies before 12 months old can bring on allergies and severe allergies and aging. Now, getting tired after a big meal is a really good indication that our immune system is using up the energy reacting to undigested proteins in the blood. So leaky gut is basically a hole in the gut, and you've got undigested food going through that hole into the blood, and the immune system goes crazy and it goes, whoa, this is foreign. It starts attacking you. That's an autoimmune disease. So you don't want that happening. We've found some of the research, and what we've also found is that Young Living lemongrass oil repairs the tight junctions in the gut, helps repair leaky gut. So lemongrass is a powerful oil and not expensive at all. Let us know if you want to know how to get those oils. Do not buy off the shelf, because some of these oils can do damage if it's not the right type and it's not grown or distilled the right way. Leaky gut is linked to allergies, autoimmune disease, eczema, irritable bowel syndrome, inflammation of the intestines, colitis. It's linked to a lot of diseases. Can increase with fasting and eating allergenic foods. So fasting is not good for everyone, especially if they got certain issues. I've seen this over 36 years that fasting and juice fasting long term can produce some serious health issues and malnutrition. Liver overload and liver damage due to chemicals, drugs, alcohol, caffeine, nicotine and any other foreign substance can lead to leaky gut. Zinc, magnesium are used for hundreds of different enzyme reactions all over the body. Now, I don't want to single out two minerals, like I said. because if we just concentrate on 2 minerals, we're going to unbalance the other ones. So again, Young Living has a ionic and colloidal mineral together. They've got some minerals in there that are not in normal mineral supplements that help repair the DNA as well. So we need a balance of minerals. There's about over 90 minerals that we need. But zinc and magnesium are 2 very important ones. Iron competes with zinc, so we don't want to be just concentrating on 2 minerals. Low zinc equals low hydrochloric acid, high copper equals low zinc, and high zinc equals low copper. So we need copper as well. Low protein diet or absorption leads to low xanthine oxidase, which is a phase 2 liver detox. Talking more about detoxing next week. So many people are recommending a low protein diet. And yes, if our digestion was perfect, I would recommend a low protein diet. But most digestive systems are not producing or digesting proteins. So we need to have either more or fix the digestion would be preferable. Especially animal protein, yes, that's too high in most diets. So we need the proper amino acids, we need plant protein, but we need it, more importantly, digested. Now, supplements that aid digestion. B complex, one of the most important supplements you can take, but make sure it's a non-yeast one, because a lot of B supplements are made from yeast. B12, vegetable enzymes, very important. Zinc, ginger, cayenne, excellent for the digestion. Probiotics, remember not all probiotics work, so we recommend the Life 9 from Young Living. Aloe vera gel and comfrey, excellent for gut mucosa. Okay, fibre is a must, so remember, no, I'm not saying don't have juices, I'm just saying don't have long juice fasts without the fibre. Digest essential oil by Young Living, absolutely brilliant. I'll tell you what's in it. What do we got? We got tarragon, peppermint, ginger, fennel, anise, patchouli. I think there's 1 or 2 others that I missed. But these oils are excellent for repairing, lemongrass. Can't forget the lemongrass. Lemongrass for helping leaky gut. Patchouli for helping stimulate the good bacteria. Okay? And a lot of the others do a lot of different jobs by helping increase enzyme activity. Okay, so it's a highly recommended oil. We've had some brilliant results with this one. And cultured foods as well. Cultured foods, that's what they used to do before they had fridges. They used to culture foods. Now, I'll do another talk on that another time because I haven't got time today, but just quickly, culturing food is like miso, tempeh, sourdough bread without yeast, sauerkraut, and you can make your own coconut or soy kefir. Okay, so when something is fermented with sugar or fungus, remember that turns to alcohol because that's not the best ferment. But when cultured food is naturally cultured through, the natural yeasts in the air like sourdough bread or lactobacillus, then it's very beneficial for the system. Okay, it aids in the digestion. So more tips for good digestion. Eat slowly, chew food, be grateful, cheerful when eating. Avoid snacking, 2 or 3 meals a day max, nothing in between except plenty of energized water. Eat fresh, homegrown or organic if possible. The less chemicals you put in your system, the better. Eat a variety of foods. Don't have the same food over and over and over. You need a variety of colours, different foods, proteins, fats, complex carbohydrates, not simple carbohydrates. More plant food, less dead animals. I don't think everyone's laughing about that, but look, dead animals, yes, sometimes it's delicious, but very difficult to digest. Well, I hope that's helped. Please contact me if you've got any questions or if you want to know where to get hold of these amazing supplements. And please listen to my other videos I've done. Now, I'm still getting used to this video thing, so I hope I have been on. Now, it doesn't say how to get off it. So, here it is. End live. Until next time, see you later. See you next week, guys. God bless.